every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
Core TV News, expanding your view.
It's midday. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us on Core TV News on the hour. I am Ebulomo Adekunle. The police in Kano State say 8 persons have died following a bomb blast at the Kano State School of Hygiene located on BUK Road. The Commissioner of Police in the state, Aderinle Shinaba, disclosed the figure shortly after visiting the scene. He added that 12 persons were injured in the explosion. The coordinator of the National Information Center, Michael Mary, says the bomb was planted in the premises of the school. He added that emergency services and security forces have fully mobilized to the bomb scene.
At about 2 p.m. this afternoon, there was an explosion at Kano State School of Hygiene, located in Kano Municipal City area of Sabo Kofa. The explosive was planted within the school compound close to the road by a yet to be identified person. 8 persons are so far confirmed dead, while scores of others are wounded and presently receiving treatment. Emergency services have been fully mobilized to the scene of the incident, while investigation is ongoing. This figure of 8 is as at the time of this briefing. If it changes, we will let you know.
The crisis in Edo State House of Assembly took a new turn as the lawmakers locked themselves out of the assembly complex. The assembly has been in crisis since June 9, following the suspension of 4 legislators, including the deputy speaker. The suspended legislators and their supporters had blocked the main entrance to the complex, thereby preventing other members from entering the complex. The police prevented what could have been a free-for-all between members who wanted to enter the assembly and those in support of the suspended members. In furtherance of the promise made in his congratulatory message to Governor-elect Ayo Fayoshi, Ekiti State Governor Kayode Fayemi welcomed his elected successor to the Uke Barike Government House in Ado-Ekiti. Both leaders promised to ensure a smooth transition. Rashid was there and filed in this report.
The announcement of the result of the June 21st election, where former Governor Ayo Fayoshi emerged as the governor-elect, and the concession speech of Governor Kayode Fayemi, which came with a promise that he will be meeting his elected successor, seems to have caught the governor-elect Ayo Fayoshi by surprise.
I commend him. I pray that God Almighty will make every way straight and okay for him in life. It is, even if it takes years, it will come to an end one day. Even if it's 20 years. But the spirit behind it all is, let us move forward.
Responding, Governor Fayemi says his action was born out of his respect for the wish of the people and adherence to democratic principles.
People have said it's strange, it's un-African or un-Nigerian. Well, I don't know. I am a Democrat, and the will of the people is the basis of democracy. And if this is the will of the people, we do not have a choice than to respect their will.
They both agree to work together for the interest of all Ekiti people and to ensure a smooth transition process.
After now, both sides will set up a committee that will begin to work in earnest towards ensuring that the government transits seamlessly from the current one to the next.
I am to equally ensure that we have a smooth transition and continue to give him right of place like every other leader in the state, because yet unborn children of this state will still be governor after us.
With the matured handling of the Ekiti post-electoral process so far, it is hoped that this will be a continuous exercise for the 4 months period until October, when the governor is expected to hand over to his successor. Rashid, Core TV News, Ado Ekiti.
Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party, Tony Anene, has commended the outgoing governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, for accepting the outcome of the just concluded governorship election. Anene, who made this known in a statement issued in Abuja, says Fayemi demonstrated a rare spirit of sportsmanship by his action. He especially commended him for not only conceding defeat but also offering to work with his successor to move the state forward. Anene added that it is quite significant that for the first time in the annals of Nigeria poll election in the Fourth Republic, allegations of rigging, violence and other malpractices did not feature in the conduct of the just concluded governorship election. The police have reviewed their performance in the just concluded Ekiti governorship election, vowing to improve towards the 2015 general elections. Rashid has more in the story.
The peaceful conduct of the June 21st governorship election and the handling of the post-election period by political gladiators have paved way for easy review. Leader of the police security detachment in Ekiti, Bala Nasarawa, says the peace enjoyed during the election rests largely on the professionalism of the police force.
As we are mindful of the familiar disruptions and occurrences that generally mar the conduct of similar elections, our proactive approach in ensuring adequate security for the conduct of the election made it practically impossible for hoodlums or criminals to break the law or violate the electoral process.
The police boss thanked all Ekiti people for their orderliness and the cooperation the police enjoyed in the easy discharge of their duty during and after the election.
I salute the good people of Ekiti State for their highly commendable, orderly and peaceful conduct as law-abiding citizens before, during and after the elections. I must submit that their cooperation with all security agencies was vital to the success recorded in the conduct of the whole electoral process.
Nasarawa pledged that the police will improve on the success recorded in Ekiti as the plan for the August 9 election in Osun and the 2015 general elections. He vowed to deal with anyone who wants to foment trouble in Ekiti, saying that the Nigerian police is still on ground.
On behalf of the Inspector General of Police, I wish to emphatically state that the standard witnessed in the conduct of a peaceful and orderly Ekiti State governorship election 2014 should be considered by all as a demonstration of the commitment and readiness of the Nigerian police force in ensuring the conduct of a very peaceful, credible, and acceptable 2015 general elections.
The Nigerian police has raised the standard with its conduct in the just concluded Ekiti election. Nigerians will expect nothing less as they prepare for the next general elections. Rashid, Core TV News, Ado Ekiti.
It's the Core TV News on the hour. Take a short break and we'll be back with more. Don't go away.
Core TV News, expanding your view.
Nigerians continue to travel the city of Lagos.
There is still a poor level of
Be the first to know. Core TV News from the north, south, east, west, and around Africa. We break the news.
We are one Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are Core TV News.
Welcome to Core TV
News, 24-hour news station.
Thank you so much for being there. And for more information on our news and other programs, you can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/Core TV News. Our Twitter handle @Core TV News MG. Our videos on YouTube, youtube.com/Core TV. Leave a space and then type news. Outside Nigeria, United States Secretary of State John Kerry has pledged intense support for Iraq against the threat of a major militant offensive pushing toward Baghdad from the north and west. Kerry met with Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki and other Iraqi leaders to urge a speeding up of the government formation process in order to face down the insurgents. Maliki says the danger of the crisis represents a threat not only to Iraq but to regional and international peace. Iraqi security forces are struggling to hold their ground in the face of an insurgent onslaught that has seized major areas of 5 provinces, displaced hundreds of thousands of people, and sparked fears the country could be torn apart.
For Iraq's leaders, and it's a moment of great urgency. Iraq faces an existential threat, and Iraq's leaders have to meet that threat with the incredible urgency that it demands. Support will be intense, sustained, and if Iraq's leaders take the necessary steps to bring the country together, it will be effective. I heard about that verdict today. I was so concerned about it and frankly disappointed in it that I immediately picked up the telephone and I talked to the Foreign Minister of Egypt and I registered our serious displeasure at this kind of a verdict under the circumstances of where we find ourselves today. Now, today's conviction is obviously, it's a chilling and draconian sentence. And you know, it's deeply disturbing to see in the midst of Egypt's transition. The success of Egypt going forward will depend on the protection of universal human rights. And it will depend on a real commitment to embracing the hopes of the people there that they're going to see a judicial system that is responsive and modern and not one trapped in ideology or in this kind of extreme decision.
That's the news on the hour for this time. Thank you so much for being there. Join us again top of the hour. I am Ebrulomo Adekunle.